What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody, check it out, man. This one right here, man. This movie right here, Am I Racist? Hands down, comedy of the year. Comedy of the year, and it's not even close. You know, it hasn't been a lot of great comedies this year, you know, and we're pretty much done. What is it? September 13, right? September 13, 2024. As of September 13 of this year, Friday the 13th, happy Friday the 13th to you guys. This is the funniest movie of the year, and we needed this, you know, especially after that American Society of Magical Negroes, all right, that garbage, especially after that garbage, which wasn't funny and it was a dumb premise to begin with. This one right here takes the cake, man. Matt Walsh basically does a brutal takedown of the entire race grifting, race hustling industry. That's basically what he does, you know, and it's well worth the watch. Look, it's showing at 1,500 plus theaters nationwide. This is a pretty wide release. We saw it at an AMC. I went and saw this with Chris Gore from Film Thread, Dante from Verbal Riot, and then, of course, the homie Tyler. We went and saw this, and I mean, it was phenomenal, man. Absolutely phenomenal. I have a feeling that this is going to do decent numbers, not great numbers this weekend, but we'll have to see. But yo, funniest thing I've seen all year long. Funny as hell, man. Because look, basically what Matt Walsh is doing is he's going from place to place, just kind of covering every aspect of the race hustle industry, all right? So he's talking about these DEI, you know, seminars that are going on. There's DEI seminars all over the place, and people get quote-unquote licensed to be DEI experts, okay? And so he takes those people down because they're just shilling courses, you know, playing upon people's quote-unquote white guilt. You know, he talks to the Race to Dinner. I don't know if you guys have seen that seminar, that bullshit seminar, where basically two chicks invite a bunch of white women to dinner. They serve them food. They pay for this. I shouldn't say they invite them. These white women pay like $5,000 a pop to come in here and get told you're a racist, you're a white supremacist, and you need to, you know, do better and all that kind of crap. They pay money to get insulted. And so basically Matt Walsh infiltrates that little group, you know, which was hilarious, man. I mean, that was absolutely phenomenal. The Jussie Smollett situation, all right, he covers that situation as well. But the funniest thing, absolutely 1,000%, the funniest part is dealing with Robin DiAngelo. Yeah, so Robin DiAngelo has just put out a statement on her appearance in Am I Racist? She said she felt something was odd because Matt was wearing an ill-fitting wig. I realized that they had lied about their agenda and I had been played. She then blasts Matt and Daily Wire as anti-LGBTQ and white supremacists. She absolutely is terrified of this release. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because, look, they made her look like an absolute moron. This, to me, this chick right here, this chick is the funniest thing in this entire film. She's the one that wrote that book, White Fragility, you know, saying basically how white people are internally racist and they just don't see it. And now they're taking out all of their quote unquote fragility on other people. And I mean, this chick right here, the biggest race hustler, maybe of all time, right next to Ibram X. Kendi. It's the two of them. And he gets this chick on her with this ridiculous looking wig. I mean, this thing looks absolutely ridiculous. It didn't look this bad in the rest of the movie. It looked absolutely ridiculous here. And I was surprised she fell for it, but she did fall for it. And then she came out later on and she wrote a statement, all right? She wrote a statement about that film on her website. Let's read this real quick. Back in 2023, I was contacted by a group who claimed to be making a documentary film called Shades of Justice about efforts to address racism in the United States. They plan to interview anti-racist authors and thought leaders in service of supporting the cause of racial equity. They offered me between $10,000 and $20,000 for an interview. I said, let's meet in the middle with $15,000, and I agreed to participate. I have since donated that sum to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. Now, look, where she says here, they plan to interview anti-racists and authors and thought leaders in service of supporting the cause of racial equity. I believe they actually accomplished that because look, this film is such a brutal takedown of all of these race hustlers and these race grifters. He's basically exposing people for what they are. And there's one guy that he brings in, and I forget the name of the book. It's something like Race Hustle Hoax or Race the Race Hoax or something. He brings this author in because this author is basically saying, yeah, all of this stuff is a scam. This is just one big giant scam that everybody's playing on it. And he writes a book talking about how, hey, man, the number of hate crimes, hate crime hoax, that's what it is. The number of hate crimes in this country is not what the media blows it up to be. And this guy, a black guy, a very light-skinned black guy, but nevertheless a black guy, wrote the book, and he's basically exposing all of this crap. And so the thing is that he's basically saying the supply of racism doesn't meet the demand. All right. There's this giant demand of racism that's all across the country, everywhere you go, on mainstream media, legacy media specifically. And there's just not enough racism to meet that demand. And basically that's what he's saying. And when Matt Walsh is essentially pointing out that in this movie, that he's really pointing out that most people aren't racist, all right? Even the people he drags into the little seminars and everything, they're like, this is bullshit. What is this? And he's playing it up just like you would see any other race grifter play it up. He's doing exactly what they do. Sometimes ridiculous, illogical exercises. He's doing all of that stuff. And some people are like, this is bullshit, I'm walking out. It is so great. But let's get back to Robin, because Robin, she was the one that was taken down the hardest. When I arrived for the interview, a few things felt off. The grips would not make eye contact with me, and the interviewer, who was introduced as Matt, appeared to be wearing a ill-fitting wig. Matt presented himself as someone new to anti-racist work and seemed earnest, and his questions did not come across as adversarial. By the end, however, things got weird. Matt, this is a spoiler. I don't think I'm gonna talk about this. You guys can go and read this if you want to. But she's basically saying, Matt asked what I thought about reparations for Black Americans. I'm gonna just leave it at that, man. It's so great. I think everybody has to experience it fully to know how funny that scene is, because that scene is one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in any movie, anywhere, anytime. And I can't believe Matt Walsh, his trolling capabilities are epic. The fact that he gets these moronic DEI hustlers and race grifters to fall for the banana in the tailpipe time and time again, especially Robin DiAngelo, is magnificent. And if you don't laugh at that, you don't have a funny bone left in your body. I'm sorry, man. You just don't get it. You don't get the humor in all of this. All of this crap is fake, phony. It's nonsense, okay? I was talking to Dante right after we watched this, and I was like, yo, like Dante was saying, look how much money these people were making in this movie. All of the money that it cost Matt Walsh to put this thing on. And it's like these cats are just making bread. They even brought in the little girl, the woman, the two little girls that didn't get the high five at Sesame Street out there or whatever. They didn't get the high five. He had to pay her like $10,000 or some shit like that to come on there and talk. And she's still hustling the grift. All right. She is still hustling. It is too funny, man. It is way too funny. So far, this thing isn't getting a lot of reviews yet. I wonder why. I wonder why. 4 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Alan Ing put his up. Half the audience will laugh. The other half will walk out. I think there's going to be more people laughing than not. I have a feeling. It's really funny, man. It's really hilarious. Christian Toto, Matt Walsh exposes DEI madness in historical overdue takedown. Real talk, man. AV offer, a bold, provocative, and outrageously funny documentary. Regardless of where you stand politically, Am I Racist will be an eye-opening exercise that will change the way you look at anti-racist and racism in America. I agree. I absolutely agree. It's funny. Because that a lot of this stuff is grifting. A lot of this stuff is hustling. Even if you don't just like side with one political style or the other, there's a lot of hustling and a lot of race grifting going on out there. And so that's basically what Matt Walsh has taken down. It is hilarious. Walsh has a knack for asking seemingly ingenuous questions that make his interlocutors sound like the racists. It's a shame he didn't rely on this tactic more. The documentary often veers into absurdity, with Walsh indulging in socially awkward behavior. There's a little bit of that, but nevertheless, this guy did give it a tomato. 4 tomatoes from all the critics so far. Again, man, absolutely hilarious. I was starting to wonder, man, will Matt Walsh complete his questions trilogy, right? Because he did What is a Woman? All right. Now he's doing I Am Racist. I don't know how many more disguises. He might have to shave the whole beard the next time, because if I see this dude coming, I'm like, bro, I know who you are, man. Nah, you ain't getting me, man. No thanks. Okay, I don't want to do this. All right. Or if they pay him the money, you can have the money back. I'm walking out. All right. I think that's how it's going to go going forward. 99% on the verified audience, all audience, 250 ratings. Let's see what folks are saying. This guy, Peter D. I cannot remember the last time I laughed this hard throughout the movie, perhaps since before the death of the golden age of comedy films. People seem to be reaching when they say this film is in some way tied to politics. As a left-leaning independent, I'll say, because this guy's a leftist, I certainly didn't perceive it that way. Am I Racist will give you a feeling of comedic nostalgia, regardless of where you land on the political spectrum. I mean, the fact that it is a documentary and not just like a scripted comedy, there's some scripted stuff in this, but the fact that maybe 90% of this is actual, just a documentary, is like just, hey, footage, we set the cameras up and we just go. The fact that that's the case, it shows you how disingenuous a lot of these idiots really are. All of these people that are saying, oh, I want to get rid of my white guilt, they probably came to the class because they got to check a box for some, for some reason. They got to check off that they went to a DEI class. So let me go to this DEI class. Let me get my certification. Let me show that I did it. So now I can move on to the next step of whatever it is I'm doing this for. There's a lot of disingenuousness going on when it comes to race conversations in this country. Honestly, the funniest thing is where the most genuine conversations are, and you're going to not be surprised at all when I say this, the most genuine people that had the most genuine reactions to the conversation of race, they were all down in the South, black and white. All right. He went down there and he covered that aspect of it as well. And he just talked to people straight up. Still in his little weirdo get up and everything, but he just talked to people at a biker bar. He talked to this one black owner, is a Guyanese owner of a, I think, auto shop or something. He just talked to these people and they're like, nah, I just treat people like normal people. I don't think racism is a big issue. And that's the way most people feel. It's only the race hustlers that think that race is somehow out of control. Racism is out of control and it's a big issue and everything like that. But yeah, guys, go and see this movie. Like I said, 1,500 theaters nationwide right now. Again, it's at AMC's. I'm surprised AMC allowed that to get down. But yeah, they're not doing it like they did What is a Woman, which was only on Daily Wire. This apparently is going to be nationwide, so it shouldn't be a long drive. You could probably go somewhere within 30 minutes of your house. You'll find an AMC or other theaters and you'll go and check it out. Again, I cannot highly recommend this movie enough. 9 out of 10 for me in terms of a rating. It was phenomenal. It's hilarious. Best comedy of the year by far. But you guys let me know what y'all think if you're going to see it or if you have seen it. Give me your rating. Let me know what you guys thought of this. But go ahead, jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.